Hello, good afternoon, my beautiful Calexicans. This is Raul Ureña kicking off an informative video series hosted here on Facebook, Instagram, and now for the first time, we have our own YouTube channel where we are going to be hosting these kinds of informative videos that let you know about the government affairs, the budgets, the policies that are being passed here in the city of Calexico and across Imperial County, all of the decisions that are being made that affect our daily lives as our beautiful border residents that we are. For our first episode, we're going to be diving into the Calexico ARPA budget, the infamous and famous Calexico ARPA budget that has been under debate since 2021 when the money first reached the city of Calexico. I've gone ahead and put a couple links in this video. I went ahead and put a link to our new YouTube channel so you can subscribe and follow us. And I also put two sources. The first one is going to be the original latest Calexico ARPA budget that was approved on June 26, 2024. And I also put this version that I annotated that I'll be going over in a couple of minutes. The first thing to know about Calexico ARPA budget is that it was reauthorized under the new Calexico City Council after the recall. The new recall City Council voted 5-0 to reauthorize an almost exact copy of budget season, and I think budgets are a critical part of city government where we get to cut through a lot of the political noise and focus on what is best for Calexico and focus on the realities of what are going on and unite ourselves around the things all of our citizens absolutely want and absolutely need. I think this budget still reflects the financial legacy and the financial wisdom of Esperanza Colio. I'm very happy to see translations here present today. It is an acknowledgement that we're a binational, multilingual community, and that is very much in line with the state recommendations to have bilingual budget processes. So I thank you for that. I'm very happy to see that the ARPA numbers were updated and they were right in front of us. There has been a lot of political noise as to what the ARPA expenditures have been. And just to report to the community, the ARPA expenditures in attachment A, $1 million for police and fire vehicles, $1 million for employee bonuses before Plan B, less than $500,000 for essential worker relief. The biggest piece was facilities, fixing all the roofs in the city government, which is $2.5 million. Fire station improvement, and then $200,000, and city equipment one-time items, $1 million. By accepting this budget, we are also accepting that the priorities from the previous administration have not changed, and that is a great symbol of unity, that we have always agreed, and that there was really nothing wrong with the ARPA budget, that the ARPA budget reflects truly what our needs are. And at the present time, as a city, when we approve this without making any changes, we are affirmatively saying we're on the right track and we are in unity, and that is a good thing. Another thing that continues to be clear and continues to be said across administrations is the need for revenue. And I believe this is where we can most unite us across political differences for a better city. And it is this reality that we need more revenue. And as crazy as it may sound, the three sources of revenue that are less likely to affect the average Calexico residents are three: a utility user tax, a vacant lot tax, or a sales tax adjustment, given that most of the shoppers in the city are not Calexico residents themselves. Most Calexico residents shop in El Centro, San Diego. Unfortunately, it's a trend that most of the shoppers in the city are visitors from Mexicali. Any one of these proposals will cut through all the political noise, will fully fund our parks, fund our streets, and just affirm the right direction that we are going in. The previous administration left a lot of projects on track, some of them financial and some of them projects, a transit center on the way, a New River project that is financially feasible, almost done, a good ARPA plan that I'm sure will not change after the vote today. We have healthy reserves that we have not seen state minimum for at least 8 years. The last sales tax report was the highest it has ever been since the disaster in 2015. So I really would urge Mayor and Council, this is an opportunity for us to cut through the political noise, to unite as Calexico citizens with what Mr. Contreras has specified continues to be the goal for the city. We're not going to make it with current revenues. We have to identify a source of new revenues, and that can be uncomfortable. Nobody likes more charges. Nobody likes more taxes. Nobody likes more fees. Let's pick the ones that are least likely to hit the regular Calexico resident, and let's get this city moving forward. And I put my word in this public dais that if any of these initiatives are proposed on the November ballot, if I may just finish in this sentence, if any of these initiatives are proposed, if any of these initiatives are proposed on the November or March ballots, independently of what administration proposes them, independently of which administration proposes them, I will support them because it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Mayor Camilo Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno.
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Romo. Councilmember Victor Legaspi.
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda.
Yes.
So there you have it, folks. As you saw in that clip, the new recall city council, after all the noise of the recall, after all the accusations to Raul Ureña's ARPA plan, where they accused that ARPA plan of putting money to migrants, putting money to Mexicali, putting money to the homeless community of Calexico, the new recall city council reauthorizes that plan in its entirety with the exception of one minor change that we will go over. So let's dive in. The city of Calexico received $9.5 million total for the coronavirus relief legislation, the ARPA plan from the federal government. And out of that, $1.7 million, close to $2 million, was spent on the police and fire department, specifically on vehicle replacement. We got some new ambulances, we got new patrol vehicles, we got new police gear, we got dispatch chairs, some firearms and ammunitions, and training for the police department. Uh, Breathing apparatuses worth almost $400,000. Expired breathing apparatuses for firefighters were also included in this plan to total out a $1.7 million allocation for urgent needs in our emergency, fire, and police services under Raul Ureña's original and the new recall City Council ARPA plan. $1.7 million to police and fire. Before that, $1 million was spent on a $7,000 bonus, and this is something that I did not vote for. I voted against it because I felt like $7,000 was too much to give to people that really were working from home, municipal employees, city employees at that time, unlike the rest of us who risked our lives, got to work comfortably from home when City Hall was closed. And the mayorship of Rosy Fernandez and Camilo Garcia, they voted to give every single employee $7,000, no questions asked, and that spent a total of $1 million from our ARPA plan, and it was the first thing that was done when the money reached the city of Calexico. So you have that $1.7 million for police and fire emergencies, got that $1 million for city employees. Another big category, believe it or not, is emergency park infrastructure. Originally, the Raul Ureña City Council mayorship had put $2 million from ARPA into a variety of parks. Set it aside for Nosotros Park, Rodriguez Park, Cordova, baseball fields, Border Friendship Park, our first professional soccer field here in the city of Calexico with a big soccer population. That was slightly modified in this new Recall Council city plan because the Victorias that have a special district around Cordova actually generated more money than expected. So we were able to pay for that soccer field from other funds and transfer that money to the fire department to buy a fire truck that they have been missing. And that is the only small change that is done in this recall plan when that money was made available. But otherwise, Raul Ureña had established $2 million for emergency park services, and that went slightly down to $1.4 million, but still met all the needs of the original Raul Ureña plan for park rehabilitation from ARPA. So you're talking about $1.5 million to parks, $1.7 million to police and fire, $1 million to city workers, $1.5 million for emergency park infrastructure, originally $2 million. And the biggest category of ARPA spending is $2.5 million to our facilities, to our buildings where we provide essential city services. And out of that category, the biggest expenditure was repairs to Enrique Camarena Library. If you guys recall, Enrique Camarena was closed for a couple months because, like many other buildings, including Fire Station Number 2, the restrooms were filled with mold and they were actually presented a threat to the community. So that was addressed with an expenditure of $700,000 that renovated the Camarena Library restrooms, reopened Camarena Library, and actually fixed the roof. And actually, most of the expenses here are roof repairs because after the storm in 2022, a lot of city buildings were damaged. Were already not taken care of as they should have for the last 10 years, but really took a beating from those storms in 2022. And as a result, $2.5 million went to facilities alone. And a lot of that actually came from the original downtown allocation. You can see here that only $200,000 made it to downtown. And the reason is that when the storms happened, a lot of that downtown money had to come into the city buildings to keep the city from literally having their roofs fall apart to continue to provide services. $2.5 million to facilities. And so where is the essential workers checks? The essential workers checks, the relief, the $500 payments to the essential workers of Calexico actually only spent $462,000 total. That's less than $500,000. And that's not the city employee bonuses. The city employee bonuses got double. That was a total of $1 million for only about 100 people. This is less than $500,000 distributed to at least 1,000 hardworking essential worker Calexico resident families through a verified process. And there you have it, folks. That is ARPA. A lot of questions have been asked by the community and a lot of accusations have been made by the recall. And there's a source of information. It's right here. It's public. We're posting it for everybody to see. I hope you like this content. I hope you find it informative and useful to a good public dialogue because we really want what is best for Calexico, following what is real and what are the facts. If you have any suggestions on some topics we should cover or some things that we can do differently, we're barely getting started in informing the community, so just shoot us a message, put down a comment, and we'll get to it right away. Muchas gracias.